Hey guys, what's up? It's Frosty here with another video, and I've been having a lot of fun playing the Annihilator build for Devourer Demon Hunter, so I thought I'd give y'all a quick overview of what it is, how to play it, and a few tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. So first, here are the talents. It's a pretty basic Demon Hunter build. Now the thing with the Devourer tree is you're going to focus on the right-hand side. The Annihilator build focuses mainly on this ability right here, Collapsing Star. It is single-handedly one of the best feeling abilities that I've ever casted. You feel like you're charging up a big old spirit bomb and you drop it on the enemy, and you're also you get a little bit of the old Legion Surrender to Madness Priest build, where you're constantly draining resources and you're trying to cast fast enough to keep it up in order to stay in Void Metamorphosis to cast more Collapsing Star. I highly recommend talenting into Soul Glutton because it means your Void meta requires 15 less souls. Your Fury does drain faster when you're in meta, but I still think it's worth it because you go into meta more often. Now, one thing is you do want to macro any sort of on-use trinkets to your Void meta, which is why I have 2 Void metas on my bars. Let's go to my macros here. I literally just have a cast Void meta and then use 14 because that's where I put my on-use trinket. But I have down here, my shift T is actually Void meta without my trinket. Because there are some times when I know the next pull is going to be absolutely massive that I don't want to use my trinket on that particular Void meta. Because I know it'll be quick, it'll be over, I'll probably lose my Void meta form before we go into the next pack. I can't like roll it over. And I don't want to waste my trinket on like just some regular trash. If I'm going to use it on trash, I want it to be the largest trash pull I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking like, I forget what's the dungeon? It was like one of the first ones back in Legion where it was to pull everything and when you're on a ship. I will probably flash the name somewhere up there once I get a chance to look for it, because it's not called Maw of Souls, I don't think, because that's like, hold on, I'm gonna Google this. World of Warcraft Legion dungeons. Let's see if my it is Maw of Souls. I was right. But yeah, so there's like these massive pulls. I don't know if I don't have any footage of me doing that from, it's been over a decade, and I have not a brand new computer, but it's like 6 months old now. I don't have any footage from anything anymore. But it's great. You're gonna keep Void Blade. Void Blade comes in handy when you're playing Felgard. I use it as a gap closer. It has actually more range than your ranged abilities. It's a range of 35, while your main filler Consume, your Reap, they're all 25. So it's great if your tank is like chain pulling a bunch of stuff. You just Void Blade in. You can Vengeful Retreat out, but you're still generating souls, you're in combat, and because you can cast while moving, while you're vengeful retreating out, you can start your consume or your reap cast. It's really great. This spec to me also heavily revolves around Voidfall, one of your buffs that you can talent into. And essentially every time you consume, you might proc a Voidfall buff. And when you get to 3, which let's see if I can get it here. 1, this will go away on the cooldown here. When you get to 3, your next reap will then fire meteors. So like this, see the meteors that pop up around the target. But it empowers your next reap, so you're constantly trying to like cycle that through. It's just a really fun spec. You have all of the kind of utility that you want out of a demon hunter, except for in this spec, I actually do not take darkness. One, because I want the extra charge of blur. I want the fully channeling void ray, because not only does this give me more damage if I do that, it also gives me eradicate, which makes me do more damage with my reap, turns it into a bit of an AoE. It splits it to 5 targets, and I get, where'd it go? Not here, not here. I can find it. It's somewhere up here. Nope. Here. It fully resets the cooldown of Reap. It collects 6 additional soul fragments, so it goes from 4 to 10, which is really nice, especially with that Void Ray meta eradicate kind of combo I was talking about earlier in the video, but it allows you to go through all that. It's really great, and unfortunately you do have to give up darkness for it, but you get 2 charges of blur. There's talents here, like here you can get another talent of shift, another point in shift. I don't do that because it does not give me damage. I also don't, we're gonna get all of these in midnight, so it won't matter. And I firmly think that you have enough movement speed because you can cast while moving as a Devourer Demon Hunter. I think we're going to be talenting into State of Matter rather than Path to Oblivion. Because yes, you get increased movement speed, but it won't, I don't think that matters so much. Dark Matter will be really great once you can pick it up because you'll get your first collapsing star in every void metamorphosis will give you bonus damage over time, which is kind of nice. Here, I just went with the passive kind of void fall meteor damage is increased by 15% because rather if I activate it outside of combat, activating Void Ray, like you're not guaranteed to do that. So I'd rather go for the guaranteed damage. This is going to be really nice because all the buffs you get by using Void Fall go away pretty quickly, but this makes it persist longer. It's just a really well thought out spec. And once we get into the Apex talents that we get later, it'll be absolutely amazing. Now, let me know if you guys want me to go over the Felgard build. The Felgard build is more of a melee weaving build. You use Void. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Sorry. Ugh. I have been sick since like mid-December and I don't know what's going on, but it's okay. The Felgard build goes into Void Blade. You actually use it more. You have a cool, you're still casting Consume, you're still casting Reap, but you're using Void Blade on cooldown. And you have talents that actually upgrade it into, like, after you deal damage with Void Blade, place it with Hungering Slash, and you get another charge of Vengeful Retreat that then does damage. So the idea is you're going to, every time you need to, you Void Blade in, you then Hungering Slash, and then you Vengeful Retreat out, and there's your, like, melee combo. It's really fun. It's really good on single target. It's probably what we're going to be playing when raids are out. You know, like, if there's a heavy single target boss and you don't need a lot of AoE. But I think right now Annihilator is better in Mythic Plus. It's better in anything where you have to cleave. And I also just enjoy casting big ol' meteors. So that's me. That's the Annihilator walkthrough. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified when I post again. And make sure to stay frosty, guys.